And as always, I'd like to remind you that I have placed a link in the description down below to this dashcam in case you want to get one. But with that being said, let's take a look at the VOLWAY MU10 mirror dashcam. And this dashcam is of the 10-inch category, which means that this is a fairly compact mirror dashcam, which should work out great for anybody who had trouble clearing their visors with a larger mirror dashcam. And as you may have noticed, this mirror dashcam is going to act and look like a normal mirror until we turn on the LCD panel. At that point, it turns into a full touchscreen. And in the bottom of the dashcam, we find a power button, but also an opening for a microphone. And the reason for it is that this dashcam supports voice commands, which means that we can control this dashcam with our voice. And towards the top of the dashcam, we have several input ports. First off, we have the power port in the form of a USB-C type connector. Then we have the input for the rear camera. Then we have a memory card slot. This mirror dashcam supports memory cards all the way up to 128 gigabytes. And here's the back of the VOLWAY MU10 mirror dashcam. First off, we have a reset button right here, and then we have our front sensor, which VOLWAY says that they're using Sony sensors up here. And the sensor can also slide out, and that's going to be helpful if we're trying to clear any obstacles. And also I want to show you the back of that sensor. It is closed off, so we're not going to see anything exposed on there if we decide to extend it this way. But also we can adjust the sensor in case we wanted to further adjust the angle. But let's continue with the rest of the accessories of the MU10 mirror dashcam. And we have several goodie baggies right here. Let's start with this one. And in the first baggie, we get these mounting straps, and we get two different sizes. We get two large ones and we get two small ones. Let me show you how these things work. And here's a standard car mirror similar to the one that may be on your car, and here is the VOLWAY mirror dashcam. And as you can see, mirror dashcams are gonna get mounted directly on top of our existing mirror, and then they're gonna be secured with the included silicone straps. I'm gonna secure that onto this hook it to the bottom, then I'm gonna take the second one, put it on this hook, secure it in the bottom, effectively mounting this mirror dashcam to the original mirror of the car. Now they have included two sizes of straps, these large ones and the small ones, to accommodate different sizes of mirrors depending on how tight or loose you want the front dashcam to be. Next up is the rear camera, and as you can see, we have a fairly long extension cord for that rear camera. This cord is approximately 23 feet in length, and here's what the rear camera looks like. And this camera is actually waterproof, so it could be potentially mounted outside of the vehicle, or it could be mounted inside of the vehicle. Also, you'll notice that the camera does have a tilt bracket, so we can adjust the angle up or down as desired. And as far as mounting this camera, there are two ways of doing it. They have included this goodie bag that contains screws if for some reason we want to screw this permanently to our car, or my favorite way, which is with this double-sided, high-strength double-sided tape. I can put that tape in the back, peel that, and then stick this to the car anywhere I want. Moving on to the last goodie bag, and this contains the power supply for the mirror dashcam, which is a cigarette lighter adapter cord, and this has approximately a length of 11.5 feet, so almost 12 feet, and then we have that USB-C type connector on here. And by default, we are shown the front view of the vehicle, and the view can be adjusted by sliding up and down on the screen. And we can also do a similar adjustment on the other side. If I slide up and down, we can adjust the brightness of the display. We can also change views by swiping on the screen. As you can see, now we are shown the front view and the rear view. And if I swipe one more time, we are shown the front view. Now the front view can also be adjusted in the same way as I did before by swiping up and down on the screen. And if I swipe one more time, I return back to the rear view. And this is probably one of the cleanest interfaces I've seen on a dashcam. Very simple. We got our date and time, and we got a recording indicator over here. Now, if we wanted to see additional functions, we tap on the screen, and then we can see what functions are enabled, our license plates, and the menu options. But then it goes away when we're not using it, which I think is a great idea. So let's take a look at those icons in the bottom. The very first icon right here allows us to turn off the audio recording if for some reason we wanted to share a secret, but once we are done, we can turn on the audio recording one more time. The next icon is this camera icon that allows us to take a picture. Perhaps I wanted to have a picture of that vehicle. Now I have that picture in addition to the video that's being recorded. We can also temporarily stop the recording by pressing that button. Notice how we are no longer recording, and we can resume recording by pressing that button one more time. And the next icon is this little lock icon. If I press this little icon, it is gonna flag the section of the video that we're currently recording. Notice how this changed from a red blinking dot to a yellow blinking dot, and this allows me to find this particular video a lot easier in the future. Perhaps I have interest on this car. By flagging it, I can find that video very easily among the hours of video that this dashcam can potentially record. And this dashcam also supports voice commands. So I can say something like, show front camera, okay. Show rear camera, okay. Show both cameras. And you can control the dashcam that way, which is convenient if you're trying to stay completely hands-free when driving and using the dashcam. But before we move on to the settings, let's test out the parking assist function. Notice what happens when I put the car in reverse. The dashcam automatically switches to a lower view and brings up this reversing guidelines, and this is going to be helpful so we can back up safely without hitting the curb. And the guidelines are adjustable by pressing on this button right here. We get this choice, or this one, which is the best one for my vehicle. But notice also when I take the car out of reverse and I go back to drive, the dashcam automatically returns back to its prior view, which is helpful. But now let's look at this last icon, which looks like a little home. And this allows us to get access to the dashcam menu, where we can take a look at the videos that we have previously recorded. As you can see, they're sorted out in folders. And the very first folder is for front video. And if I go back, the next folder is for rear camera video. And the third folder is for video that we have flagged as being of interest. And the last folder is for any pictures that we may have taken. Also, we can return back to the normal dashcam view by pressing dashcam. But going back to that menu, let's go back in here and let's take a look at the camera settings on here. We get several choices as far as recording resolution. We can run this at 4K with 1080 in the rear, 2.5K and 1080 in the rear, which so far has been my favorite, or 1080 plus 1080 if you really wanted to fit a lot in your memory card. Well, let's also talk about the G sensor. This dashcam has the ability to tell when you got into a car crash because it's gonna sense that your car got hit. And when it senses that your car got hit, it thinks it got into a car crash, so it's gonna flag that video so you can find it a lot easier in the future. And here we can turn that sensor off, or we can turn it on with 3 levels of sensitivity. Now, if I run this too high, I found that on my vehicle, it makes the dashcam think that I get into car crashes left to right whenever I go over a speed bump, so I run mine on low. But here's a neat feature of this dashcam, and that is the ability to run parking mode without being hardwired to the vehicle. So this can potentially detect when your car gets hit and it's parked and you're away from the vehicle. Now, VOLWAY does recommend that you hardwire the dashcam if you want to enjoy the full functionality of parking mode, specifically if you're trying to run this under the time-lapse record. Now, I don't really use time-lapse. I like the ability to sense when the car got hit via the G sensor, so I could run this without being hardwired and still have a record if somebody hit my car while parked. But there are plenty of more options. If I keep scrolling down this menu, we can really customize this dashcam. For example, we can turn off the watermark, which is that date and time information that's shown on the video. We can also enter a custom plate number, or in my case, a fun name. And the last menu item is system settings, where we can adjust things like the volume of the dash cam, whether we want that startup sound to turn on every time or not. And this is also where we can see the list of voice commands. So there's a lot more voice commands in addition to the ones I showed you. You can decide to control the dashcam using all of these voice commands instead of your fingers, which I think is pretty cool. But now that I showed you the features of this dashcam, let's take a look at some driving footage both at day and at night to see how well it actually performs. and that was the VOLWAY MU10 mirror dashcam. Now, who is this dashcam for? I think this dashcam is gonna be a great fit for anybody who's looking to still be able to use their visors. If you had trouble with some of the larger dashcams, the 10-inch size is a lot more compact, but we still get a lot of advanced features like the voice commands. And in case you're wondering why I choose to run the MU10 at 2.5K instead of the full 4K resolution, that is because the MU10 uses the Sony IMX335 imaging sensor, which means that the 4K video that's coming out of this dashcam is likely being upscale. Now, the IMX335 sensor is capable of great video at 2.5K, so I see no need to set the resolution any higher than that. This is especially true if you live in a very hot area. Mirror dashcams by themselves already generate a lot of heat, and running them at 4K generate even more heat. So I like to set mine at 2.5K where I still get great video and avoid any potential overheating issues. So remember, I placed a link to the VOLWAY MU10 in the description down below in case you want to get one. If you guys have any other questions regarding this mirror dashcam, please put that in the comments down below. If you found any part of this video helpful, hit the thumbs up button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have a lot more dashcam reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.